What's up, MMA fans? Back to do another video. Been away for a long time. Work's been crazy. Haven't had a whole lot of free time. A few things I want to talk about before we get into this video. Something to watch out for. I'm going to be putting up a video of who won the prediction contest we had here. Also going to put up a video of a prospects review video. Kind of like we'll go over all the prospects from the first 10 videos or so that I did. Kind of the guys that excelled and moved up to the next level. The standouts, of course. If anybody watched the recent Sengoku card, we all know what Mama Kaladov did to Santiago this past weekend. So kind of topics like that we'll kind of go through some of the outstanding prospects. On to this video. It's going to be a year-end prospects video. It's probably going to take 3 or 4 clips to put it together due to time constraints. So I'm thinking it'll be, a 3-part video, maybe a 4-part video. It's going to be the year-end top 25 prospects. All the prospects in this set of videos will be new prospects. None of the guys in the first set of videos I've done over the last couple of years will be involved in this video. This will be completely new prospects. Some guys will be relatively unknown. Some guys you're going to hear of, and they're not really going to be considered a prospect, but they kind of deserve a shout out and kind of maybe a second chance at getting back into the game, if you will. So without further ado, let's kick things off here. Number 25 on the list is Nick Ring. Fighting out of Calgary, Alberta. I think he was born in Iowa, but he's 10-0, 2 knockouts, 5 submissions, 185-pounder. His biggest win, name-wise, I guess, was the submission of UFC veteran Bill Mahood in his debut fight, pro debut. Recently returned to MMA after a 3-year absence and hasn't missed a beat. He has competed in Deep, Icon Sports, Super Brawl, and Bellator, to name a few. He has a big Muay Thai background and he's held the Intercontinental Muay Thai Championship. Ring was also one of 4 winners of the Pride auditions. I think they took place in 2004. And when he was away from the sport, he dabbled in boxing. Possible top 11 candidate. It's rumored that middleweights may be the class of choice for the next Ultimate Fighter show. So watch out for Nick Ring. He'd be a great addition to the show. Like I said, good Muay Thai skills. He can submit you. Keep an eye out for Nick Ring. Number 24 on the list, relatively unknown fighter. I don't expect a lot of people to know about this guy. His name is DAWID. BAZAIK, 5-0, 5 knockouts. 24 years old. He's from Darmstadt, Germany. 220 pounds, kind of a small heavyweight, could fight at light heavyweight. I've only seen a couple of his fights here on YouTube in M1 versus virtually unknown fighters. He also had a knockout win at a free fight challenge here on YouTube, so check it out. To me, any decent heavyweight fighter deserves a look because the talent pool compared to the other divisions is much smaller. It's not to take away, I'm a huge fan of the heavyweight division. It's just there's not as many prospects as all the other divisions. So whenever I see a guy that's half decent, I kind of give him a shout out. Next on the list, and here's a guy that's a lot of people are going to know of. You're going to wonder why he's in this video. He did have 3 fights in the WEC, and then he disappeared. He went on to fight in smaller shows. So I figured the guy, to me, is still a prospect, deserves a second chance. Brian Baker, 10-1, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions, 6'3", 185 pounds, 24 years old. Trained at Team Wildman Valley Tudo. Again, normally I do not list any prospects who have fought in any major orgs, and Baker has had 2 undercard fights in the WEC and 1 main card fight to Chael Sonnen. Of course, Sonnen dominated him, and he put a beat down on him, but Baker showed tremendous heart and survived all 3 rounds. Last year, in a unanimous decision. But after that fight, he was dropped from the WEC. He left the spotlight. But he has big wins. He recently beat UFC vet and IFL vet Matt Horwich. Also defeated Rory Singer via first round knockout. He defeated Jesse Forbes, and also handed Eric Schlamberry the only loss of his career. Another fighter to look for, possible top 11 candidate if the weight classes permit. As I mentioned, he was dominated by Sonnen, but showed a ton of heart and toughness throughout that fight. Brian Baker, this guy deserves another chance. Next on the list, number 22, another guy that's virtually unknown, Bruno Santos, 5-0 with a knockout and a submission. 22 years old, 5'9", 185 pounds. Probably better suited for 170. Fights at the Salvador, Baja, Brazil. Trains with Zimerio team. Defeated UFC veteran Kokota. He also beat Gracie Fusion fighter Danilo Pereira. Apparently has a big grappling background. Like I said, I don't know much about him. Virtually an unknown fighter. But from people I talk to in different forms and stuff, they say this guy has potential to be the full meal deal. So check him out, Bruno Santos. Next on the list. Now this is a guy, in my opinion, over the last couple of years have made tremendous strides. He's added striking to his game, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to make a call. I think as of today, as of right now, on paper, this guy is the best unsigned welterweight prospect in Europe. I'm not saying he's the best welterweight in Europe. I'm just saying on paper he's the best unsigned prospect at welterweight in Europe. Jim WALLHEAD, 18-5, 24 years old, 6 knockouts, 7 submissions, 170 pounder from England, Team Roughhouse, trains with the likes of Dan Hardy, Paul Daly, Andre Winner. He's got wins over Che Mills, Igor Ajo, UFC veteran Steve Lynch, UFC veteran Jason Tan, Cage Rage vet John Phillips, Jiu-Jitsu ace Fabricio Nascimento. WALLHEAD tried out for Tough 9, and apparently he was told he was too good for the show. I got to put a big question mark after that one. Makes you wonder if they thought he was the kind of guy that they didn't want to win the show, or based on TV and entertainment, maybe the Spike people didn't think personality-wise he was good for the show, which is a shame because he would have been a great addition. Aggressive grappler, good ground and pound, leaps and bounds on his striking over the last couple of years. No, I really think this guy deserves a shot, and I really do hope he gets signed here shortly. Like I said, he's only 24 years old. Great welterweight. Will he be an effective welterweight in UFC? Probably not, just because the division is so deep and there's so many monsters at 170. But he definitely deserves his shot. So Jim WALLHEAD. Number 20. This is another guy that's, I believe he's 32 years old, and it's time for this guy to get into major work before he gets too old. This guy has to be signed. Christian MPUMBU. Legit fighter, 14 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 3 knockouts, 8 submission, 6'2", 205, 32 years old. Fights at Paris, France. Defeated UFC veteran Stefan Struve, highly touted Finnish fighter Marcus Valtonen, Polish popular fighter Krzysztof Kulak. Very athletic fighter. He can KO you, he can submit you, good hands, good speed, good footwork. He had some impressive fights in N1 Global. He also won 2 separate 8-man tournaments, one-night tournaments. Check this guy out, Christian MPUMBU. Definitely a guy who deserves at least a shot somewhere, whether it be in Dream, Sengoku, Strikeforce, the UFC, even Bellator, or something a little more mainstream. And again, that was Christian MPUMBU. Stay tuned for the second part of this video.